At the Angry Duckling tweets, hashtag Cup of Fate, what matters?
Koma versus BlackRoger. BlackRoger choosing to go first. The game is finally underway and it's up on the screen. If we don't talk about this, Technophy will be mad. Both players drawing cards. Both players using unsleeved decks. Maybe that's the secret to making it to the top. Using foul, unprotected, creased, cheaty cards. Maybe not, though. The card blocker for BlackRoger is up. Just for those of you watching maybe in post or who aren't aware of what's happening, that is not his actual hand. That is just a set of shards to try to throw you off of his game.
Hashtag Rainbow Dream.
Hashtag Rainbow. Although it's all about that hashtag Cup of Fate right now. There we go. Turn 1 War Machinist. It has done a lot of work on stream throughout this event. And here it comes out once again. A 1/1 dwarf for 1 cost that deals 1 damage to the opponent every time an artifact enters play. Koma, of course, running the Bertram variant of Mono Sapphire, is going to have a little bit of trouble dealing with that. Sapphire just not knowing really how to directly remove things as this state in the game.
Have to think going into it is that Koma did not want to play against this deck going into the finals.
No, but both players are walking out of here with similar prizes, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. First and second place both receive $500. Second place gets 24 set 2 packs. And 12 set 1 packs, whereas first place gets 36 set 2 packs and 20 set 1 packs, as well as a flight to Gen Con or Hex HQ. Just in case it becomes relevant, I'll let you both know Hex Colin will kill me if you try to split this. My life is actually on the line. Don't try to split.
How do you split a flight?
Comatose wants to say to his chat and past priority were bugged during the Mulligan decision.
Half an airplane.
Do we have... Is Gaius Marcus still about? Or Zubrin still about? We will need a judge to look at that. But he will play. Okay. All right, Koma.
At Feelin. Tweets at 5 stars. Hashtag Cup of Fate. Good luck, BlackRoger, in finals. Since you knocked me out, win it.
Misclicks are not a bug game state. You have to play despite your misclick.
I think he's just saying... He says he's going to play anyway, so... Of course, we will wait for the time to progress. We know that Koma is... He's going to relog. I mean, after your next priority, you should try to relog. I mean, just because the disconnect won't kill things.
At H.E. Radsons says, not getting this whole Twitter thing. At least I understand hashtag Hex thanks to hashtag Cup of Fate. Hoping someone wins in the finals. Hashtag what matters.
That's true.
I like that one.
Only chat is bugged now. Priority is visible. Okay, that's good. Good luck, Koma. Good luck, BlackRoger. Good luck, Havoc.
At DKDA Missionary says, go BlackRoger and the bots, and all the bots. The Robolution will not be denied. Hashtag Cup of Fate.
Interesting throwdown here. The Crackling Vortex not giving off any Sapphire Threshold and getting 2 charges for Koma there right off of the bat. Interesting turn 1 choice. I think if you have a Sapphire Shard, you generally throw that out in case you get the Storm Cloud or something else here. We've got a Tunneled Troop on BlackRoger's side of the board, turn 2. We'll see if that changes anything here. The War Machinist goes in. We'll deal 1 damage as there is incredibly little in the game that can be played for 1 resource and no threshold.
Could be part of the reason why you wanted to mulligan that hand. Just had multiple vortexes there, possibly.
Yeah. And he just said that in chat. The people watching this in the aftermath can't see the stream chat, though, so... Comatose will be relogging right now.
Lots of people love robots.
That's true. The robots are... the robots are a thematic favorite here.
At Neurogeno says, I think Infamous Neil will play the winner for the true final battle. Hashtag Cup of Fate.
Infamous Neo steps out of his cave. No, I don't hate Constructed. Plot twist. Okay, so as we said, Koma will be restarting here real quick. Hopefully BlackRoger can hear us. He is just trying to fix his client. Is playing the game.
At Toad Sharp says, hashtag Cup of Fate. Let's hope for Reese, Koma.
Hashtag Cup of Fate. War Machinist MVP of this tournament. That's not far from the truth.
The worst part is if you lose against me, there isn't a place for you in the prizes.
You just get,
so you just get nothing.
Yeah, you get replaced. So here we go. Back into the game. Bertram Craggraven, who is Koma, passes off his second turn. No shard. Probably going to have to toss a card here. Or in main 2 maybe has something that we couldn't see there before. Not only that, but they have to give Neo a booster pack. Now that the restart has happened, we see Koma in main 2 looking at his hand. Looks like he is just going to take that game.
Do we have a timeout there, maybe?
No, we realized you didn't want to keep a 1 Vortex hand. No, he doesn't. He didn't time out there. It looks like there's some chat going on. Without Wordle, who's going to do the post-journey analysis? Maybe we can summon him from the child life.
Yeah, we've had Technify doing some of that kind of analysis work.
So while we're in the reserves, just a friendly reminder, you guys can type secret prize hype, all one word, in chat for a chance to win a secret prize. You can tweet to hashtag Cup of Fate with your thoughts on the Cup of Fate tournament series so far for a chance to win a primal. And additionally, you can chill out in chat and be awesome people like the other 249 people who are here right now. Thank you all again for making this such an amazing event. And here we are getting ready for Game 2. There will be post-tournament analysis on this week's 2 turns ahead. I can't wait to get ready to talk some more at 9 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, we will talk about it. We may still have somebody else write about it too, though.
So, being as this is the situation, we will see. Game one of the finals was not something you have to worry too much about missing, Thelonious. It looks like it was a bugged game and a quick forfeit. Secret prize is a date with Princess Neo.
The biggest thing is we have 2 Bertram decks playing off in the finals. We didn't see much Bertram at all this season up until Mono Sapphire reared its ugly head.
Not only that, they're 2 completely different Bertram style decks.
They are. They're completely different. One controlling and one very aggressive.
Worker bots are good. What can we say?
Beep boop. Beep boop 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 beep.
I suppose we could say that.
Here's the coin flip, which doesn't matter. Bing! Looks like BlackRoger wins the play and decides to draw. Welcome to Game 2 of the Cup of Fate Finals. Again, this is best of 5, with 1 game in BlackRoger's favor. We'll see what the players decide to do. Koma looks at his opening hand and mulligans.
Keeps a 6 card hand. I'm not
BlackRoger,
psychic and do not see 6 shards.
BlackRoger, on the other hand, snap keep with the 7. Turn 1 Sapphire from Koma, leading off a little bit better than that last game. Obviously, it was not his decision to do it the way he did. We will see a Sapphire Shard turn 1 play. This means no War Machinist from BlackRoger. So he lands down that Gearsmith and pulls out a Electroid immediately. Probably put that onto the board. He does. That 3/4 for 0. Can't attack or block unless he controls 4 or more robots and dwarves.
Great card to find with the Gearsmith there. Put a lot of power onto the board.
It's pretty much the best way for that to go for the Kaldheim style deck that BlackRoger has mastered in this set. Pulls a card off the top, lays it down. It's a Ruby Shard. We will see if he has the ability to swing with the Electroid this turn. Reactor Bot comes down for 2 resources, meaning Electroid will not be able to attack this turn. Gearsmith swings in for that 1 damage. Tunneled Troop on Koma's side of the board. Slowly going to start getting counters. It's incredibly likely that that's Reese. It's 100% likely that that's Reese, looking at the deck list. That Reese might pop up and start creating some advantage in Koma's favor. Opa Kaldheim style. Let's see, what does BlackRoger play here? War Machinist is the lead-off, which will now allow Electroid to attack. A Sapphire Shard comes down. Charge Power comes out. War Machinist deals 1 damage to Koma, bringing him to 18.
Do you know what would cost 2 right now? A Terrobot.
It's true. Here comes
put it at-
Gearsmith. Now it'll cost 1. Finds another Electroid, which will hit the board for free, I'm almost positive. Another damage dealt to Koma before the attack phase has even begun. It is now time to attack, and 3 troops swing in. That's 7 more damage. Koma down to 10. This is turn 3 on the draw for BlackRoger's deck. This is a lot of damage. It's half of Koma's health. A free Terrobot enters the board, dealing another damage, bringing Koma to 9. There is enough damage on the board for lethal with incredibly low amounts of troops that could save this from being what it is.
Robot Aggro might be the next not budget deck.
Here comes Buccaneer.
I feel like he maybe had the Buccaneer last turn and was just missing the shard, but even if he did, it's still just a super fast start here.
That's the only thing he can bounce without ensuring he takes additional damage. I'm sure he would like to bounce the Terrobot, but it just is going to come back.
and will deal 1 damage when it enters play because of that War Machinist. Here comes Construct Foreman, which will transform that Worker Bot into a War Bot. A very, very quick turn of events here. That is lethal amounts of damage represented on the board. There's 3 damage in the sky and 6 damage on the board. Doesn't even need to swing with the Gearsmiths to push lethal through here. No amount of blocks with the Worker Bot and the Buccaneer will be enough here. This is game 2 going to BlackRoger. A quick turn 4 victory. I believe that's turn 4. More than lethal. That was not the draw for Koma, HexTCG. That was not the draw.
Yeah, he was on the play. He was just down on resources because he just missed there. Might be why you thought it was on the draw.
Now, with that said, going into this third game, one more victory solidifies BlackRoger as the victor of the first Cup of Fate tournament, meaning he will win $500, a flight to Gen Con or Hex headquarters, 36 set 2 booster packs, 20 set 1 packs. He'll also win the love of everyone in this chat, maybe. And we need some chat. Scream, let us know who you want to win. As the coin comes down one more time, Koma will get a chance to play on the play. Chooses to play here, of course. And let's see what happens. He sees his 7 cards. Which of them is he? He keeps all 7. That's good. No mulligan this time. BlackRoger snap keep, does not even move his mouse close to the mulligan button. Turn 1 Sapper's Charge from Koma. That will deal with an obnoxious number of threats from BlackRoger. Those War Machinists and Gearsmiths and Hornet bots do not like Sapper's Charges. Turn 1, we see the Ruby from BlackRoger. He throws down War Machinist. Has been called the MVP of the tournament. Has put through more damage on stream than any other card I can think of. Even things like Tectonic Mega Hulk. We'll see if that gets immediately blown up by a Dwarven Sapper's Charge on its own. Or... no, it will. Get out of my face, says Koma. Do not want. 0 out of 10 would not play against again. Destroyed.
Riot, please nerf.
Rito, please.
Rito, please nerf. Don't want to get in trouble.
Here comes that reactor bot on turn 2. That would have dealt an extra damage to Koma had the War Machine stayed on the board. Now, Koma will probably reach 3 resources this turn, and that's when the tempo is really going to start for that Mono Sapphire deck. The things like Buccaneers and Counter Magics and Verdicts start to actually make their way into the play. Koma throws down for 2 resources, a tunneling troop, and has no third resource.
That's rough.
Might be a clean sweep. That's a terrifying situation to be in if you're Koma. Although it looks like on the other side of the board, I was going to say BlackRoger might not have had a resource himself, but he does. Puts down that War Machinist, puts down a Charge Bot, puts down another Charge Bot, deals 2 damage with the War Machinist. That's 3 charges in 1 turn. That Reactor Bot hits 7/7 on turn 3, is going to swing in with the inability to respond on 0 resources. What can Koma do here aside from watch as... just the aggression of a perfect hand really comes out. Only 2 cards left, though, for BlackRoger. If Koma can start producing answers, maybe he can finish his board off. Looks like BlackRoger does not have the Terrabots in hand, or he would have played them out there, or he wouldn't have had the resources quite yet. That's good. There's a 3rd resource. Cerulean Mirror Knight. Worker Bot comes down. That Reactor Bot can be chumped, and it's unlikely BlackRoger's going to want to swing in here with those Charge Bots. Does he have a Construct Foreman to make that Worker Bot into a War Bot?
So another charge. Reactor Bot becomes 3/3 once again every time he gains a charge.
Swings in with just that 3/3. No safe block here for Koma. No way to deal with that. Pretty much has to throw a troop in front here. Goes to 7. Chooses to go to 7. This is when BlackRoger chooses to tunnel a troop. Going to produce his Worker Bolt once again for the turn. That's another damage. Takes him to 6. 1 card left in hand for BlackRoger. Once again, if Koma can manage to stabilize on this board, it might be that Sapphire can keep the dwarves back, but as it stands, it's not looking super good. Here comes that Buccaneer. That will bounce one of those troops, probably the War Machinist, back to hand. And it absolutely looks like it's going to be the War Machinist. Keeping track of the counters in his head, BlackRoger decides whether or not his Mega Hulk is going to show up at the right time.
Three cards left in hand. We know one of them is War Machinist. We know.
We don't know.
We don't know. There's 2 more.
We do know, but we don't know. Let's see what happens. There's that shard. 1 card left in hand. Still, this swing not fantastic for BlackRoger. Might consider holding it back because if he lets that Buccaneer chump block here, he not only gets rid of the reactor bot, but allows Koma to draw a card, who is stuck on 3 resources by the looks of it. Decides to stay back, knowing that after putting 5 counters on last turn, the Tectonic Mega Hulk will likely put 6 counters on this turn. It's not really counters, it's reducing the tunneling cost. So he's 2 turns away, really, from that Mega Hulk surfacing. Eldritch Dreamer, though, hits the board, inspired by the Cerulean Mirror Knight. That is an unblockable troop that will start drawing cards for Koma. Card advantage is everything he needs. He's 1 turn away from the surfacing of Reese. If BlackRoger can't solidify the board state here, the card advantage and the unblockable damage from the Eldritch Dreamer, maybe Masteries of Times and Grolks, could quickly turn this back into Koma's game. On 6 health, can he find something in these 4 cards with his Reese to change this around entirely? Can his Reese hit the 1 in 34 chance of creating a Tectonic Mega Hulk itself to block the others?
If he's also just got a counter magic here, he's at least got a shot.
Yes. That 1 in 34 chance comes with an asterisk. I'm not 100% sure it's 34 that it creates. There's some uppity-ness about that. With 6 resources open, does BlackRoger have a response to the swing from the Eldritch Dreamer? No, he does not. Looks like Koma hits his 5th resource and plays a 2nd Cerulean Mirror Knight.
He gets an experimental War Hulk out of his Reese. Here's Tectonic Mega Hulk. 3 resources open. He does have a counter magic.
The counter magic is the only thing that really saves him in this position. Now he just has to worry about the potential flight that BlackRoger can put out. And we see the Tarot Bot that will do the 1 damage. Koma goes to 5. It's getting quick. Only 3 of those troops that Reese the Crustcrawler can create have flight.
War Machine is slowly ticking away. Ever since that 10 damage done by Reactor Bot.
That War Machinist has put in 3, 4, 5, 6 damage just with its ping so far, if I'm not mistaken. It's a lot of damage all on its own. There's the Menacing Grolk. That'll exhaust the entire board of BlackRoger, who has no cards in hand and no safe way to respond. With 4 damage from the board, well, not 4 damage. I was going to say 4 damage from the Reese. All this damage from the Alpha. Is this enough? Koma takes BlackRoger to 3. Will he make a comeback on this game?
What can BlackRoger draw now with 0 cards in hand to deal 4 damage? And with 2 blockers. Is there a card? I don't think it... well.
Gearsmith comes out.
But does not hit anything.
This means Koma is going to take down Game 3. We'll go to Game 4 here very shortly. It's 2-1 in BlackRoger's favor. An incredible comeback, but this was all from the play. And now with that in mind, you have to realize that BlackRoger will be the aggressive starter in Game 4?
Koma has to win 2 games in a row on the draw. no matter what happens in the next game, if we go to a game 5, BlackRoger will also likely take the play as the aggressive deck. So it's an uphill battle from here for Koma.
You know, it's pretty nice for BlackRoger. You've gotta imagine that having this fast aggro deck against all these Mono Sapphire players has worked out pretty well.
That Grolk managed to sneak in there at the very last time. You have to wonder if Koma drew a shard off that Eldritch Streamer swing, if he managed to pull through that last little bit of card advantage in that one turn just because of the swing of the Eldritch Streamer itself, or if he had it in hand, or if he drew the Grolk itself. There's a lot of potential there. With the draw, set with the play even, BlackRoger looks at his 7 cards, have not seen him mulligan once, snap keep. Koma on the other side of the table keeps 7 as well. Game 4, good luck, have fun. Ruby Shard from BlackRoger, the Electroid, not the usual turn 1 play from him. Pretty much signaling he doesn't have that War Machinist. That Electroid hits the board, cannot swing, cannot block, cannot do anything really until there are 4 robots or dwarves on the board total, and Sapper's Charge, turn 1 from Koma, will slow down some of those smaller dwarves and artifacts immediately. Things like the Hornet Bot, the Worker Bot, and Gearsmith War Machinist no longer that interesting anymore. A second Ruby Shard, no Sapphire Threshold yet from BlackRoger, lays out the Charge Bot, lays out the Hornet Bot. Like I said,
That's going to allow Electroid to attack this turn. Oh, but except for no Sapphire.
No
He's very
Sapphire.
close to it.
Yeah, no Almost. Sapphire this turn, which makes you realize or think either BlackRoger made a pretty big misplay there or he has no Sapphire. The deck does not run a ton of resources, so chances are kind of low that he might have that Sapphire. I doubt he'd make a misplay. This is pretty high-level play. Now, that Hornet Bot will complete itself, and that Sapper's Charge could just blow it out of the water. Still a lot of potential that BlackRoger finds a Sapphire, plays a Worker Bot, swings for 4 or 5 next turn, even with the Sapper's Charge explosion. We'll see what happens. Going to exhaust his Charge Bot and his Electroid right now, BlackRoger does, and creates the 2-1 flying Buzz, which really difficult to deal with in this situation. You have that Sapper's Charge, which is so good here if you're Koma, but not a ton of fantastic targets for it. The play from BlackRoger is a 3rd Ruby Threshold, pretty much solidifying that there is no Sapphire in his hand. Tunnels a Troop, we know what that's going to be. 3 of that tunneling will be reduced each turn. The Hornet Bot is destroyed by the Sapper's Charge. That Mega Hulk takes a while here. Even with this other Charge Bot coming out, that's 5 turns from now, assuming that last card in BlackRoger's hand doesn't really help. Finding a Sapphire would very drastically change this in his favor. This gives Koma plenty of time to play out to the board and get to the point where he can counter or bounce or deal with the Mega Hulk in an accurate way. Tunnels a Troop himself. Is he not going to play a 3rd resource this turn?
This is the
Is he
fourth
stuck
game in a
on
row.
2 again? Passes to main 2. It's unbelievable. Koma keeping the 2-shard hands, not getting the 3rd resource. 24 resources in his deck.
I mean, who needs a 3rd resource when you got a Reese?
This coming from a man who did not think Buzz was an appropriate term for Hornet Bots. You get out of here, sir. It's true, it is Reese tunneled. If that Reese surfaces, we've seen that it can do some crazy work. BlackRoger getting back to his turn, finds another Tectonic Mega Hulk, which he enhances and puts on the ground immediately. Still no resource, still 2 cards in hand that he can't play. Gonna swing with those Charge Bots, bring Koma down to a healthy 15 health. Still no damage on himself at this point. Still a useless Electroid on his side of the board, which could quickly spring to action. Let's see if Koma can start finding those resources or at least cards to play. He's got 7 in hand and he's going to draw 1. Did not put anything on the board last turn.
Does he have to discard this turn?
It looks like he will. Just passes through the turn and throws a second Reese into the grave. That Tectonic Mega Hulk will not surface this turn, but it's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. It is the next turn that Mega Hulk will pop up. The first Mega Hulk will enhance by a turn in that respect. There's the Construct Foreman off the top. It will turn one of those charge bots into a war bot, swing in for an extra 2 damage this turn, and allow the Electrode to swing in for 3. This is a huge, huge swing of events in BlackRoger's favor. A strong top deck, which pushes through almost half of Koma's health here, and really he can't afford to be taking that much damage.
A Time Ripple here on the Electroid doesn't even really help. And if he had it, he could have even used it on the charge bot. But even then, that's not even a good thing. He can just replay it, gain another charge.
Yeah, the Sappers charge on the Buzz there did slow things down a bit for a while, but if you're not getting shards, you're not really going anywhere.
Needed just a little bit more here. If he had the resources to play around with this situation, he's passing the turn. He's only got 2 resources up. He needs something like a Time Ripple to deal with that Mega Hulk, and even then, like we've said, that Mega Hulk will have a 0 tunneling cost if we look at it. It's got 3, 6, 9. Yep, it'll have 0 tunneling cost.
There's no chance for counter magic.
No chance for counter magic. Still Time Ripple on combat phase could matter here. We'll see if it actually changes the board, but even then I cannot imagine that Koma will find answer after answer after answer here. This will likely be the final game of the Cup of Fate, swinging in here for 18 damage.
Even removing Tectonic Mega Hulk, that is 8 damage on the rest of the troops.
That is. So there is no answer to this. The extra damage from all of these troops, just too much for a 2-resource hand to stand. That will be good game. Well played.
Congratulations.
BlackRoger takes down the first ever Cup of Fate Invitational Tournament. Manages to solidify himself kind of a place at the top. Hopefully some of you had him on your fantasy team. Congratulations. Once again, that is $500, a flight to Gen Con or Hex headquarters, 36 set 2 packs, 20 set 1 packs. Which is,
I have hype for this.
You have hype. Oh, real shoutcasting. We've got it. Congratulations, BlackRoger. Dwarf Robots taking down the giant shadow looming over the tournament. Way back when we had I don't know if it was it was the third tournament, so if we go alphabetically and I learn how to remember to speak.
Ruby Cup.
The Ruby Cup, we had this outlying deck. Kaldheim showed up with these aggro dwarves. Nobody brought an answer for it to this tournament. Apparently it's so strong in the meta. And yes, it's more Sapphire shutting things down, but you did not see a single Reese in that deck. It could have run them, but it chose not to. That is the deck that takes down pretty much what I have to imagine is the pinnacle of set 2 constructed right here. With no overshadowing of the fact that Koma managed to make it to second place, also taking $500 home, also taking 24 set 2 packs and 12 set 1 packs. A huge prize to take considering it was 1 day of work and effort that you've put into getting here, although all 64 players managed to make it to this invitational event by putting in a lot of time, hard effort, and work. So, once again, just huge, huge congratulations. Once again, I keep saying once again. I'm going to once again say once again.
Once again.
This was the Cup of Fate Finals brought to you by 5shards.com and sponsored incredibly generously by Hex Colin, made possible by the fantastic Hex community. Joining me today was Jusm Jedi, Infamous Neo, and Hacky Channel, with Technophy in the background working on all sorts of technical stuff. The Gaius Marcus doing the judging for the entire day. This tournament is mostly the product of myself and Michael Allen being egotistical folk and wanting to do a tournament, and we thus did. The fantasy stuff is going there. There's still giveaways for what matters. I will tweet back I will direct message the winner of the Primal Pack on Twitter. We have one more giveaway. Infamous Neo, who won the secret prize?
The secret prize is making its way to Feel the Power X.
Feel the Power X. We need your in-game name. Hopefully you're still there. Otherwise, that will have to go to somebody else. Do not forget the second season of this starts next month on the second Saturday of the month, the 9th. That will not be an invitational tournament. That will be a free-to-play constructed tournament available to everybody. You guys...
Congratulations, you win that secret prize of a single copy of a Baby Yeti. We'll get that out to you immediately.
That was not what the secret prize was. The secret prize was in fact $100 worth of platinum, just straight up off of the top. Thank you once again, Neuro Genius, for keeping the hype. It was a no.
Oh, surprise!
Oh man, no, they're gonna run. They're gonna be mad. They're not gonna like it. But that's not true. Feel the Power X. I see him talking. His in-game name is Sinnoh. You got that. We talked about the decks earlier. We had a good time. Do we have any last words from the casting bench? Hacky Channel, how did you feel about today's event?
I had an awesome time, and it is worth 2.5 hours of sleep.
It was worth more than that, I hope.
More. No. It's worth going off 2.5 hours of sleep. I enjoyed the matches. Lots of great play, lots of Reese, but also a decent variety of other decks trying to take out the elephant in the room. So congratulations again to BlackRoger and everybody who placed well, and everybody in the tournament. Thank you for playing. And to you guys, my fellow casters, it has been a pleasure casting with you today.
Thank you
and
very
look
much.
Forward to
obviously a pleasure.
to more.
Vice versa. How about you, Jusm Jedi?
Bot hype. So happy to see the Dwarf Aggro deck win this. That's a deck that, I mean, we've seen it and we knew about this deck, but not really one that was on people's radar. Definitely wasn't on mine, and awesome to see that was the deck that won this.
Once again, Infamous Neo, who stayed up pretty much 80 hours in a row to be here, and obviously a great measure to be here. How are your final thoughts on the event?
I already know what just happened. Honestly, I'm a little bit blindsided by that, and I can't wait for the top 8 to start.
Well, that was the top 8. I know that you're trolling around, but we will get that to make sure nobody else is there. Thank you guys, Marcus, once again, for doing pretty much all the judging in this event. Thank you, Technophy. If you have any last words, now is the time to unmute yourself.
Last words? None.
Okay, that's how much Technophy loves the rest of you.
I have last words.
I appreciate all the gentlemanly behavior by everyone that I had to help today.
That was the most sarcastic final words I've ever heard in my life.
Is it, though?
And Michael Allen, the entire reason the event exists is because you're here. What final words do you have?
Just first of all, I want to thank the community as a whole for helping us get the tournaments together. Specifically, the sponsors we've had so far this season include Technophy, who sponsored the Diamond Cup and was our first sponsor, Rise of the Dead Prince for the Ruby Cup, and the Wild Cup from the Dragonborn Guild. And then, of course, both the Sapphire Cup and the Cup of Fate were sponsored by Colin. We will continue to rely upon the community to run these tournaments for Season 2, and you should expect some announcement for Season 2 shortly, because the Blood Cup will be occurring next month. And we'll be starting a whole new season. And from what I hear, the Cup of Fate prizes for the next season will be somewhat comparable to what they were for Season 1. So you certainly want to get in there and earn points, regardless of how you think you're going to do. Because some people got points and were able to show up just because they showed up to every tournament. You could be one of those people next season.
That's true. And as always, we want to make this the biggest and most eventful community event that we can. Thank you guys all for coming along this afternoon. Huge shout-outs, again, to BlackRoger for taking the whole thing down. The deck lists are available at 5shards.com. You guys have a fantastic evening, morning, or night, and stay lucky.